Therapy Army. Welcome to United Real Therapy, people. How are we doing? Big up to everybody watching, listening. Big up to all you massive. Let's be having you. United Glory said if you don't beat Forest and Ten Hag is under massive pressure going into the Arsenal game. Facts. Facts, facts, facts.
Oh, wow.
Let's be having you, Therapy Army. Let's be having you. We got our Zinedine Zidane Zizou in the house. Zizou. There you go, Zizou. I like the number 10. What a player Zidane was saying. All right, what's the first time I seen him live? Was it the Euros? Yeah. It was Euro 96, France versus Spain. Wow. I was dazzled.
I'd say the most elegant player to ever play football. Not the best, the most elegant. I don't think I've seen anything as elegant as Zinedine Zidane play.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree.
That first touch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 100%. The way he moved and glided across the pitch. Definitely.
Yes.
Therapy Army, let's be having you. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We need to get into this Zinedine Zidane memories. Now, that was a baller. I swear to God. What some of your generation call ballers now is not a baller. What ballers were was those ballers. Next level ballers. There we go, people. Next level ballers who were just doing it, consistently doing it, and absolutely making the big difference in the biggest of games.
Do you know one of his biggest regrets, bro, is that it never materialized for him to play in red?
Well, that's how it is, isn't it? That's how it is. Zuzu. Listen, we are Jokefc linked with joke players. That's one of the topics tonight. Do you drop the front three? That's what I meant to say. The front three. Do we drop them? Eric Ten Hag.
I dropped the front 11, bro.
Exactly. Eric Ten Hag showing the Man UFC. Eric Ten Hag showing the Man UFC PR school, showcasing. He was on it today, and obviously we're gonna end up talking about the sitting protest, which I'll be taking part tomorrow. We're taking part in it, people. We're gonna sit in and see what happens. We're gonna try to sit in. So big up to everybody who's gonna stay in the stadium and hopefully gonna chant their way out of this bloody nightmare that is Manchester United. But big up to everybody. But first, we're gonna hit with a preview. Big up the mighty Mundo. Big up, people. Listen, smash a like, people. Smash that like on the video like your life depended on it. Like your life, it's like your life depends on it. Just smash it. Smash it, people. Smash it. Nuri, thank you so much for spoiling us with the content this week. I just finished the Neuro Beats episode. Big up, Rafa 42. Love and light, bro. Always love. Nuri, it's true United are considering bringing Ryan Bertrand. Massage him. For sure. That's where we got it. Listen, that's where we go to Jokefc. Linked with joke players. So that's where we go, people. Mundo, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Bombay, how you doing?
Good, man. Good.
It's Friday then. It's Friday. Just a bit of story time, people. Back in the day when we were like teenagers, Friday was the nightmare. I remember we used to look forward to going out on Friday night. We used to either find us on Piccadilly 21s or at Royals. Is there any place we used to go on a Friday?
Not me.
Oh yeah, you never used to come anyway. You used to be the builder of that part of Manchester,
we
mate,
did
the
different,
outskirts of Manchester. Yeah, Firkin. Did you ever come Firkin? We used to go Firkin on a Thursday. Friday, Friday was it?
Came to
Piccadilly
Firkin twice in my life.
Right.
We used to go. No, Thursdays we go to Firkin. Friday we go to Discotheque Royale.
Discotheque Royale. I remember I used to dance with a DJ on the stage. If you know, you know. The old school garage. Remember the earliest?
Mundo, did you ever go to Punana?
Yeah. Mundo used to come to Punana. Yeah, he used to come to me sometimes to Punana. Yeah.
We used to go together. You used to wear that fedora or that hat and come and go mad pointy shoes.
The canoes. The canoes, right? Listen, a bit of story time, people. The fashion dress in the 90s, late 90s was mad. But Bombaye used to always wear his. He used to always
plays by his own rules, man. That's how it is.
Yeah, you know what? He used to have his Blade Runner jacket, sometimes leather jackets, and he used to wear what we used to call the pointy, shiny shoes, but we used to call them the canoes, mate. Tin canoes. If you know, you know. So the first time I ever went to Punana, and while we met Irfan, story time before we begin this, people. You're getting a bit of bonus content here, a bit of story time. First time I met Irfan is Bombay and me. We wanted to go to a jazz club. We wanted to do something cultured. You know, we're always going out raving. So it's like, let's go do something cultured. And the music that Bombay is into, he's always into Latin jazz. He's into Santana. You know what I mean? He's into this type of music. So we went past this place and we could hear like these funky beats. So we go in and there's all Brazilians in there. Place, imagine a club full of Brazilians. And we go in and everybody starts talking Portuguese to us, thinking we were Brazilian. Then we look around and we look at the DJs and the guy who say hello to them. And yeah, that was it. That's how we got to know Irfan. But me and Mundo have been raving since we were 15, people. If you want the honest truth. If you want the honest truth. Me and Mundo were raving since we were 15. And yeah, at 16, I think we used to go to Piccadilly 21s, if you remember, you remember. Or we used to go to Discotheque Royales. When I cycle past that building, I'm like, damn, memories in this place. And you know what? Guess who used to go in there? Paul Scholes, Nicky Bott, David Beckham. The Nevilles were too goody.
Keno.
Absolute brown noses. So they never used to go. So we used to get Wes Brown in there. Obviously, we knew Wes Brown because we grew up near, you know, close to each other. We played football against him, play with him at times. So we knew Wes Brown. But Nicky Bott, Paul Scholes sometimes used to come out. But it was Nicky Bott, David Beckham, Ryan Giggs. These guys used to be out at Discotheque Royale. Do you remember that, guys? Do you remember, Mundo?
Yeah,
we used to see the footballers in there. Yep. And me and Mundo used to go to the same barbers as Dwight York, Andy Cole, Rio Ferdinand, and these guys, eh? If you know, you know. Rich is in my side.
Is it still there?
It's still there, yeah. Still there. It's got a shop now on the Princess Parkway. Hold tight, Richie. But anyway, people, we can be telling you all stories about everything. All day, every day. But yeah, I've seen Zidane play, I think, of all my life, like at Old Trafford, I think 4 times. All times I've ever seen him was play at Old Trafford 4 times. First time I ever seen him was Euro 96. And then the other 3 times I've seen him in the Champions League with Juventus against Manchester United. Yep, those famous nights. 1 or 2 nights, Giggsy getting the winner. Giggsy! You know, though, remember the Champions League nights at Old Trafford, man? You can never beat those Champions League nights at Old Trafford. Yeah. If you know, you know, mate. Big up everybody. Listen, preview, people. It is the preview. And you know what? It doesn't get any bigger than this game. This is a big game, people. I'm not going to lie to you. After the we perform, people are like, oh, it's only Forest. No. Forest have had a decent start to the season. Let's be right. And Chelsea cleaned up tonight, didn't they? Eh? Cleaned up tonight, Chelsea. Didn't they, eh?
Cleaned Raheem's looking good again.
I said it, people. I said it. I said Raheem's been rolling back the years. People are like, laughing and that. He's not all this, he's not all that. But let's get into it, people. Let me give you the thing by the numbers anyway before we get into it. Manchester United defender Luke Shaw will be sidelined for a number of weeks due to muscle issue. Guys, I've seen this movie before, Mundo. Bombay. I've seen this movie before. Secure the bag. Get the big contract. Get on fire. Be on form. Get that big contract. The form dips. Injuries come. And then it's rinse and repeat. That's what we are with Luke Shaw, mate, at Manchester United. Mason Mount is also out after picking up hamstring injury last weekend. Rasmus Højlund is not available despite his involvement in training as he recovers from back problem which hampered his start at Old Trafford. Nottingham Forest manager Steve Cooper has had to my hand a debut World Cup winning defender Gonzalo Montiel, who joined on loan from Sevilla this week. Isn't the Gonzalo Montiel? Is he the guy that scored the winner? Is he the guy that scored the penalty?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that scored the winning penalty in the World Cup final. Defender Ola Anania and Felipe have returned for training, but the latter is lacking fitness and will not feature. Let's go to head-to-heads. Manchester United have won their past 10 games against Nottingham Forest in all competition, including all 4 meetings last season, by an aggregate score of 10-0. Forest have registered just 1 victory in 12 Premier League meetings, with the Red Devils drawing 2 and losing 9. The sole win did come at Old Trafford, 2-1 victory in December 94 with goals from Stan Collymore. I remember that actually. And Stuart Pearce. Eric Cantona scored for the home side. I remember that when they beat us in 94 actually. I remember Collymore scoring. Forest,
screamer, that absolute screamer.
Forest's only goal in the past 6 matches with Manchester United was scored by Alan Rodgers in the 8-1 defeat at the City Ground in 1999. Woo! Manchester United have won 7 consecutive Premier League matches. Their best run since they've won 8 in a row between May and November 2017. Eric Ten Hag's side has gone 30 games without a defeat at Old Trafford, winning 26 and drawing 4. The Red Devils have scored just once in their opening 2 flight fixtures in the 2nd consecutive seasons. They only had 22 shots without finding a net in their 2-loss defeat at Spurs. Only Bournemouth 43 faced more shots than Manchester United with 40 in the top flight matches this campaign. So only Bournemouth have faced more shots than us. In the 2 games, we faced 40 shots. Marcus Rashford has found the net only 5 times in the past 20 games for United, as he's yet to score this season. Anthony Martial could make his 300th appearance for United in all competitions. Nottingham Forest have won 4 of their past 8 Premier League games, drawing 2, losing 2, and 1 more than they have managed in their previous 17 top-flight matches. Forest are seeking consecutive league wins for the first time since January when they beat Southampton and Leicester. The Tricky Trees have found the net in each of their past 9 top-flight fixtures, scoring 17 goals. Steve Cooper's side have recorded just 1 victory in 20 Premier League games away, drawing 5 and losing 14. Tawi Ayuwoyi became the 2nd Forest player to score in 6 consecutive Premier League appearances last week after Stan Collymore in 1995. Anuweni is registered 8 goals in his past 6 league games and could become the first player to score for Forest opening 3 top-flight matches of the season since Peter Devonport in 1984 and 1985. So this Anuweni guy, he's looking to bang goals in, people. He's looking to bang them in. But let's be having you therapy, Army. So what we think, guys? I'll go with Bumbaye first. Bumbaye, you watch that shite. I don't know if you were here for the match. Yeah, were you here for the match? Oh, yeah, you were here for the for the match reaction against Spurs. And you thought it was an absolute pile. But talk to me. Big up to Mufc, baby. Let me just get this super chat fair. Mufc TV, people, go and check it out. We have less than a week to get players. It's all good selling players, but we don't have any left with the injuries we have. Could be a long season. There you go. Could be a long season. Mumbai, talk to me. Talk to me about Manchester United.
I think Eric Ten Hag spoke really well in the press conferences. In that department, I've always liked him. He is very reassuring, and what I like about him is he doesn't make excuses, and he himself is saying we have to improve our football and we have to get results. And this is what I believe. We've been discussing this throughout the course of the week. I think the football is nowhere near good enough after 2 games. It's only 2 games. It's nothing like to worry about. I know you've got a small section of people talking crazy, but no, I'm not one of those. Give him time. It's early days. 3 points out of 6, not the end of the world. Tottenham away is tough, but got to play a lot better with the team that we've got. It's not going to win the league, this team. It's talking about Man City. It's not going to win the Champions League. That's not what I want anyway. That's not what I'm looking at anyway. I'm looking at a team here that should be playing better football, and Ten Hag says so. As he improves this team, as he brings in however many more players he needs, he also knows, and he said today, I have to get results. So he's a realistic man, and that's all I wanted to hear from him. This game against Forest becomes a bit more difficult because of the first 2 games. And the next 2 games that are coming after this one, you've got Arsenal and Brighton. That's not going to be easy, man. So we need to pick up the points at the very least. Whether we play well or not is not a major factor. The priority here is to get the 3 points. However you get them, you're at home against a team that will be in a relegation dogfight. If you can't sort this one out, I mean, it's a missed opportunity for 3 points, and then we're going into 2 more tough games. So you really need to pick up the points. And as we go along, we have to improve the football. It's as simple as that, really. And that's it from me.
Big up Umpire. Mundo, it's a must win because look what we've got. Massive pressure on this game tomorrow. Not just only on a good performance, but also the 3 points. Next week we've got Arsenal, and then the game after that is Brighton. I want to tell people about Brighton. People are like, "Oh no, why do we have to get them so early again?"
Do you know, I'm remembering Jarvis last week when you mentioned Brighton.
His face, mate. His face. Big up to everybody. Big up to Eski, my brother. Big up Eski. Big up Steve Couple. Yeah. And Wallahi says here, Nuruddin, I used to love the black fellow who danced outside Kendall's. They both used to get a sweat on with their dance moves. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that fella. That brother. I think he's still doing a bit of dancing, but he doesn't need at Arndale now. With the guys who plays the pakora and the drums. Yeah, they're still doing it in town, people. Mundo, talk to me. How is this? How Manchester United going to get themselves out of this? And in terms of signings, fella, George, big up George. George says, Evans and Bertrand deadline day signings. I cannot wait to. We're going to the on a title charge. Mundo, are Bertrand and Evans taking us to where we need to go?
Well, you know, the funny thing is, right, of all the players to get on a free transfer from Leicester City, we get the worst two, right? We need them.
Well, apart allegedly, but Evans is going to sign. Bertrand, I don't know, but Evans is going to sign. And I still don't know how. How?
Excuse me.
But go ahead.
Tielemans went on a free transfer. We need a midfielder, right? James Maddison was 20-odd million less than Mason Mount. Harvey Barnes went to Newcastle. And of all the players that we're signing, we're getting Johnny Evans, 35, and Bertrand. I mean, putting that aside, I think we have to win tomorrow. We absolutely have to win. And we need to put in a performance. We need to go into the Arsenal game with a little bit of positivity. Because if we play horrendous tomorrow and we scrape a win, I fear for us at Arsenal. I think we're going to be holding 4 or 5 at Arsenal. We need to be going into that game positively. I'm not too worried about Luke Shaw being injured because he's been shit anyway the first 2 games. And he's been terrible. Yeah, it's been terrible. And the thing is as well is we need to move away from, this player's not available and that player's not available. What the manager wants to install and what we should be seeing now is a team that has a system. So if a team has a system, you can cope for 2, 3, 4 games with an understudy or someone filling in that position. But where your team is disjointed and shit and you're relying on individuals, then you panic when certain individuals are not available. Facts. So I don't want my team to be like, I know that's what we're like at the moment, but we need to move away from that. So why can't Alvaro Fernandez or Diego Dallo play at left back, or even shift Lisandro to left back if we need to? We've got enough players in the squad. So the manager's even said, he said, look, we can cope. And I think we can cope. We don't need to bring in...
Listen, I'm glad Luke Shaw is out. Let's not get it twisted, people. He's been the calamity, Mr. Calamity. I'm glad. I want Luke Shaw to take a couple of more months out and chill out and rest easy. That's what he usually does anyway, after he gets his long-term contract. So no pressure now, Luke. Take the next couple of months and you take it easy, lad. All right? Getting that takeaways like you usually.
We've got enough players that we can cope without having our left back. So I'm not too worried about that. And it's not like our full backs have been in great form anyway. So it's not like Luke Shaw has been bombing up and down the wing and getting balls in, and it's a vital position for us.
We've done Dallo there before anyway, and he did all right.
Dallo, and actually, I think, as strange as it may sound, I think Dallo plays better at left back than he does at right back.
Yeah,
he wasn't bad when we had him there. Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, when he was in Italy and Milan, he played at left back, and I think he actually looks better at left back.
Yeah, it's coming on his right, innit? Coming inside.
Yeah. Or Fernandez, even Fernandez can come in for a few games. So I'm not too worried about that. And it'll be interesting to see what the midfield is, because obviously Mason Mount's going to be missing for the next couple of games. Is he going to bring Eriksen back in? I suspect he's going to bring Eriksen back in. I just don't think he favours McTominay. I think he's doing whatever he can to get McTominay out of the club, in my view, right? Even when we're getting overrun in midfield, he'd rather bring on Eriksen with no legs. He'd rather bring on anyone else but McTominay. And that speaks volumes to me. Same as Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, we could be down to the bare bones in defence, and I think he'd probably move Onana into centre-half and put the second-string keeper in rather than put Maguire on the pitch. So, but nonetheless, even with a fully fit squad, we still need bodies. We still need signings. We need at least 2 or 3 players. And time is running out. We've literally got less than a week to get the transfer window shuts on the 1st of September, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's next week, end of next week. So we've got hardly any time to complete transfers. But this is Man United in the transfer window. Just when you think they've turned the corner, because they started to get transfers in early, they revert to type, which is panic towards the end of the window. And we're going to see some strange things happening towards the end of the window, which is what we see every summer, right? Some randomness. Some player that never even crossed your mind, all of a sudden, we're getting him in on loan. Where the hell did Weghorst come from? Where the hell did Odion Igalo, who was overplaying in China, come from? Trust me, there's going to be some random person from Saudi or, I don't know, Chinese league, or I don't know. They're just going to bring in some random players. Ryan Bertrand being one, Johnny Evans being another. It's just Murtaugh madness. I'm sorry. Another flop for me. Another flop.
They said Murtaugh madness.
Big belly flop.
They said, like my belly flop, go on swimming baths or Stockport swimming baths.
Oh dear, that was sick.
Remember the days, I belly flopped. I slipped on this high diving board, people. It was full of like, what's that greasy grass thing when it started growing, on concrete? You know, that green slimy thing starts growing. I slipped on them and I belly flopped. And lifeguard tried to save me, but I thought he was trying to jump me, so I took him down to the bottom of the pool. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Those who don't know. Listen, we'll come to the questions, people. We got a couple of questions here. We're going to come and answer some of those questions in a minute. But big up to everybody. Listen, at the end of the day, Forest tomorrow, the winning guy is on fire. They're playing a lot better. Obviously, they've had a pre-season. A lot of those players that they had last season, they bought them a lot of those players. And actually, the fact that they stayed up, I think I really like Steve Cooper as a manager. I rate him, actually, because imagine having like 20-something odd players and then try to get them to fit in. And finally, you know what I mean? They did it. Obviously, the danger man is Johnson. He's still there, isn't he? And then what's the other kid that does he play for Wolves? Gibbs White. So Johnson and Gibbs White, Oduwini. So they got 3-4 players who are danger men, like who can score goals. And actually, that Oduwini's scoring goals now. If he scores again tomorrow, he's gonna be the second or whatever since the guy that scored the goals in 1985 season. And this is in the 80s. They were really good, winning 2 Champions Leagues in the 80s. Forest are no joke, people. So it's gonna be fun and games. George, let me just get to some of these quickly. George says, yeah, there, I got that one there. Joe, big up Joe, my brother Joe. Listen, Joe, you're gonna have to come on. Are you on Twitter? Make sure you follow me on Twitter, that guy Red Devil, and then tag me in the tweet. Because for the Arsenal preview, I want to get you on here telling us about Arsenal. So he's asking a question. So is this the prep for Arsenal game? Who you guys having in your starting 11? Who are you guys having in your starting 11? Well, we're going to come to it in a minute. We're going to come to the starting 11 in a minute. Big up to you. And then George says, how many players in our squad is good enough to be in the title-winning squad? in your guys' opinions?
None.
I think that's what it. To be fair, I think Varane and Martinez could be.
No.
Varane and Martinez could be. Varane and
No,
Martinez.
I'd say I don't think I wouldn't take him into City's squad. I think Diaz is better than both of them. I think Stones is better than both of them.
Wow, interesting. Let me just go to Club Bay. It says, big up Club Bay for the super chat. It says, Rashford, Martial, Sancho, front three, Dalot, Alvaro, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno. Demasio, latest on Amrabat. I saw both teams negotiating and Glazers out. Glazers out. Now Glazers out. Big up Club. So, yeah, Rashford, Martial, Sancho, front three. Dalot, Alvaro, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno. Okay. I see that. I see where you're going with that. But big up to you guys. Mundo, I'll stay with you actually. I'll go back to you. Obviously, we know where he's going to play, but do you think that gives this kid a chance? Maybe. I mean, God forbid. Nowadays, the referees are handing out yellow cards like they're chips. You know what I mean? Getting the chips out, man. Honestly, they're just giving it out. Yeah, the referees are giving yellow cards like Manchester United do hot potatoes with a football. That's what's happening. So is this Fernandes? Do you throw him in, or do you think in a home game, maybe against Forest, you might throw him in?
No, I
go
with
or maybe
low.
bring him on.
I go with the low just because I think Brennan Johnson. We might be up against Brennan Johnson, and he's a tricky customer. He's quite quick. So I probably would go with the low just because he's more experienced. I think if you want to give Fernandes a run out, then it's probably better. Let's start with the low, and then if you want to bring someone on for the last 20 minutes, give him 20 minutes at the end of the game. But I wouldn't start him because there's a possibility that you start with Garnacho, and I wouldn't want a left-hand side of Garnacho and Fernandes. No chance. Defensively, that would be shocking to me. So we need someone a little bit more experienced. So I would start with. I wouldn't even start Garnacho, to be honest. I'd probably start with Sancho. Probably start with Sancho and Dalot on the left.
Listen, give me your team. Let's go. Let's go do this. Give me your team.
Okay, so I'm obviously the goalkeeper. We know who that is. Centre half, we know who that is. Right back, Wan-Bissaka.
Let the people know though. Onana, Martinez,
Licha, Varane. Left,
Diego
Dalot. Right back, Wambi. Central midfield, I would go with Casemiro and it has to be Eriksen. He's the only option. Casemiro and Eriksen. Bruno in the 10. Sancho on the left. I go with Martial. I go with Rashford on the left. Martial up front if he's fit, and Sancho on the right.
Okay. Interesting. Bombaye, give me your team.
I've got the exact same team as Mundo, but I'll just put Anthony instead of Sancho.
Okay. I want Anthony to take a seat, so I'm gonna go with that Mundo's team. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going with tomorrow. The aspect of me thinks we know what Diego Dalot can do, man.
I would like
might need to see
Pellistri. I would like to see Pellistri. I really want to see Pellistri. I like this kid. He's a good player. When he's not done himself any harm whenever he's had a cameo. I'm not sure.
Listen, at least he can beat a man and go on the outside. He's the only guy who goes on the outside.
Yes. So this is a problem for me. A player comes in, he looks all right. Give him 20 minutes. Give him, 15 minutes, especially if we're up and it's all right. Let him come on there, man.
Yeah. Long Yeti, Long Haired Yeti's Cave. I've sent you the link on Twitter. If you're the Joker, I've sent you the link on Twitter. Do you want to jump on and give us your side of the Nottingham Forest side?
Yeah, big up Longhaired. I'm jealous.
Yeah, but we're all jealous.
If I was a Forest fan, I'd be coming. Having seen what Wolves did to us, I'd be confident.
Of course. Listen, let us know if you want to jump on. Long-haired Yeti. There it is, isn't it? Enuobi, Gibbs, White, Ilanga. Oh yeah, Ilanga. How can we forget? He's on the thumbnail. Ilanga. Woo! But yeah, my team would be, just go back into it, people. My team is Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez. There he is. How you doing, fella?
How you doing, guys? You all right?
We're all right, mate. We're all right. You're here. You're live. Clear, mate. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So my team, and then we'll get your point of view from Forest and where you are this season in a minute. So my team, the defense is the same. In Diego, well, I will like to see Fernandez. Actually, you know, I'm gonna go Fernandez, Martinez, Varane, Wan-Bissaka, and midfield. I would go for Eriksen, Casemiro, and Bruno. Nobody else really. And then up to the front three is Martial in the middle, Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right. And then if Sancho and Rashford are doing bad at half time, if they're not performing, I'll hook them both off at half time and I'll get Pelestri on and Garnacho on. That's my team, people. That's what I'm going for. But big up, we've got long-haired Yeti Cave. Talk to me. What's your name?
How you doing, guys?
What's your name, fella?
My name?
Yeah, long-haired.
Long-haired Yeti, yeah.
Okay, we'll call you long-haired, okay? Long-haired.
Just call me Yeti, mate.
Yeti's about better, watch out. There we go, Yeti. Talk to us. Obviously, I was singing the praises of your manager earlier, saying that it must have been really difficult for him to keep you in the Premier League, and I think he's done a marvellous job.
Yeah, definitely.
Because to buy 20 new players and to get them to gel in the most craziest season, World Cup in the middle, every 3 days there was a game. So I think he did remarkably well to keep you in the Premier League last season. Loads of people tipped you throughout the season to be you guys. And now it looks like at the beginning of the season, you've had a decent start to the season. Your striker's scoring.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Awonyi.
Awonyi is scoring. And your team looks really set. It looks like they've got a proper understanding and a style of play that they have. So take it away. Tell us more. Tell us.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I think we're going to do sort of exactly the same. I think we're going to do the low block. I mean, I'd prefer to actually really attack you guys because I think you're sort of on the fence at the moment. But at the same point, I'd also look at it as being Old Trafford, and you never disregard the fact of Man United at Old Trafford. So you've got to have respect in that way as well. I think it'd be one on the wings, Brennan Johnson. I was hoping Luke Shaw played actually because he tends to drift into the midfield, and if he'd have done that with Brennan Johnson and would have put a ball over the top, then Johnson would have absolutely burned him and managed to get something onto the head of Awonyi because, Awonyi's going to be a big player this season, I think. I really do think he's going to be a big player. Other than that, Cooper's doing a good job with pulling in different kinds of players and stuff. We're not spending massive money. We're just pulling in players. I mean, Elanga, 15 million. I mean, I'd play him because I've got a funny feeling he's going to have a really good game against you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. Most players come back to haunt us. That's always the way. To be fair, it's football. It's one of the unwritten rules in football. You sell players, they come and haunt you. Especially
100%. Yeah,
that's what happens. In terms of your style of play and your team, what's your team looking like? Who are you excited about? Is there any signings that you've made that we've not realized that you're really excited about? Obviously, you signed on loan. I think on loan, or we signed him from Sevilla. I think he might be on loan from Sevilla. The actual Argentinian that scored the guy that scored the penalty winning the penalty that won the World Cup, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Gonzalez Montiel, who's like a World Cup winner. I mean, you hear from Arsenal fans all the time that, you've got to be Champions League to actually sign world-class players. Well, I mean, that shows that's a load of crap, doesn't it, really? But then again, they do talk a load of crap anyway. But the thing is like you've got Elanga, which I'm quite excited about because he absolutely burned them in that second half. And I think we could have won that, actually, if it would have carried on. But it is what it is. And the away form's not that great. That'd be the only thing I'd be worried about a bit tomorrow, to be honest. But the one I'm most excited about this season, 100%, is Awonyi. Because I think if he can stay fit, when he was in the Bundesliga, he was third down in the goal scoring charts. The top was Erling Haaland and the second one was Lewandowski. So he's definitely got some kind of pedigree. that he can actually bring to this. And he's definitely the one I'm really excited to see how he does this season.
Yeah, definitely. There you go. That's from the view from the Forest side. Big up Eski, man like Eski. Not seen you heard from you in a while, brother. How you doing, first of all?
Yeah, good man, good. I've been listening to your past few streams, but I've not asked to jump on, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the manager's done my head in the past 2 games, so I've just been kind of just taking a little step back, man. I've got to say it how it is, man. I love the guy, but after 60 minutes against Tottenham, my head just went. I was like, no, this can't continue. So it is what it is, bro. But I'm back, man. Let's get some 3 points here, bro. I'm not confident, not gonna lie, but I'm here, man.
Yeah, definitely. Forest, like I said, they look more as a team. He's had a season with them. He's got the defense, or the midfield looking all right. Gibbs White is becoming the leader. Johnson and Iwane, he is a danger man. So there's 3 guys who are dangerous players. I think Gibbs White has been sensational for me.
100%.
He's been the guy to watch for me when I watch Forest, even in any of your games when you've played. He's the guy who's brave to get on the ball. I remember seeing him. I think he must have been like 17, 18. I think playing for Wolverhampton, I'm going, oh my word. And then watching him, obviously, for the England under 21, under 18th, you know what I mean? Throughout that, I caught the couple of England youth games here and there, and he stood out. So it's good to see him. I mean, you spent a lot of money on him, you know what I mean? But
everybody laughed.
He's repaid that money. No, I never laughed, to be fair. I didn't, because I knew he was talented. And I know that Steve Cooper's good with young players, you know what I mean? Obviously, he had a decent stint in England youth teams. So yeah, guys, there's 200 of you in here. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel.
Yeah,
if you're not already subscribed, smash a like, people, smash a like. But Forest Manchester United games, I said, me Bumbaye can remember the goal last time you won at Old Trafford. Your record in the Premier League under Steve Cooper is losing 14, drawing 5, and winning just 1 in the last 20 Premier League games. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think that record carries. So
100%.
This is your Premier League. Like, I'm sure it's for last time you were in the Premier League, but it says here, Forest has recorded just 1 away victory in 20 Premier League away games, drawing 5. And
that's the biggest worry, really.
Yeah, and losing 14 and only winning 1. That is what your thing has been. So it's going to be very interesting. They're not very confident, but I promise you, Steve Cooper is a scouser, first of all. He's a Liverpool man, right?
Yeah.
So he has a bit of needle with Manchester United. He does not like Manx, right? That's how he goes. Right. It's like that you're born a scouser, you don't like Manx. You're born a Manx, you don't like scousers. That's how it is. It's a default, right? He must have 100% Bumbaye studied the way Manchester United played against Wolverhampton, and he would have studied the way 60 minutes is what Spurs did to us. And he's got 3 players who are on quite decent form. Johnson's always quick. I remember his dad, actually. Did his dad play for us, Mundo?
Yeah.
Mundo, did his dad ever play for us? Did he play for us? I'm sure he played for us.
David Johnson, no, I think he played. Did he play for...
You know what? I'm mixing him up.
Sheffield United.
Yeah,
I don't know he was.
I'm talking about as a youth player. As a youth player, who did he play for?
His dad's David Johnson, but I don't remember him playing for Man United as a youth player. I'm not sure.
Maybe I'm mixing it up with somebody else. But Bumbaye, so they've got 3 players who are dangerous. They've signed a couple of Brazilian. They've got a couple of Brazilian and a couple of other good players in midfield. They've got decent left back and right back who bring swinging balls into that box. Are Manchester United ready for this? And in knowing Steve Cooper, the fact that he's a scouser, the fact that he's seen what Wolves did to us, what Spurs did to us, how are you feeling genuinely?
I mean, this stuff all goes out the window, man. It's he has to come, and we have to turn up as well. You know, we are gonna improve. They're a good counter-attacking side. They're quite fluid when they break. But we handled Forest reasonably well, I thought, last season.
You did. Yeah, you did.
Not to say that, there's moments where you think Forest can explode into life, but I thought we kept the ball away from you reasonably well, and Awoniyi had to drop a little bit deeper. We were catching him quite high up the pitch. Obviously, there was the Maguire rugby tackle, but in the main, I felt pretty comfortable against you guys. With all due respect, I like how Cooper plays. It is expansive, but I just feel that Nottingham Forest, I like that they are quite an attacking-minded team, and they do set up with two banks, a bank of 5 and a bank of 4. But I don't know, man. Forest to Forest. I mean, I don't know what the expectation for the season is, but as a Man United fan, at home against Nottingham Forest, I feel that we will go and we will win this game. And that is all I'm going to ask of Eric Ten Hag. I know Mundo wants a major performance. It would be good, but I'll take 3 points any which way it comes at this stage, just to set us up for, because if we don't get 3 points against you guys at home, we're a good side at home usually. Then I'm afraid that the pressure's going to mount a little bit.
Oh, it's going to be huge, isn't it? Really.
Because what's happening is there's two types of fans. There's the type of fan that accepted last season, the last 3 months were not great football, but we had a goal to reach and we reached it. We got over the line, but we were promised a certain type of football with this man, and we haven't had it. So I think last season, these 2 games now, the discontent has started. I think, albeit early, but I don't belong to that camp yet. I think we will win the game tomorrow. How we do it, I'm not sure, but I just feel that we've got enough there to take it away from Forest and win. And if we score first, I think that will be it. But if Forest score first, we have a problem breaking teams down, and you guys set up with 5 and then 4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you did that against us, but we did manage to break through. If we break
Rashford,
through,
mate,
Rashford, exactly. So this is it. I've always maintained if we score first, we can be a tricky team. But right now, we're not scoring first. We're not playing well at all. I don't expect that to continue. But I feel that we should get the 3 points tomorrow, to be honest.
Big up Alien Tenno. I don't know what this is. This is a song, Yeti.
Yeah, Mulligan Tire. Yeah.
Mulligan Tire. Oh, mist rolling in. Oh, wow. There we go.
What we sing when the game starts.
Okay. What does it mean? What's the significance of that?
I read it the other day, but I forgot where it is, to be honest with you.
There you go.
It's not anything massive, to be fair.
What's Forest's expectation for the season?
Well, to stay in the Premier League.
But yeah, mine is like top 15 to maybe making it into the top 10. That's what I would say. And like Norwegian just said, just not getting relegated, basically.
Listen, safety is the most fair part after they've been out of the They've been out of the league for how many years? So for me, every year they stay in it. That's the success.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've been out of it for 23 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
what did you guys have you guys heard the Eric Ten Hag preview to this game? And what do you think of the comment that he made where he said we have no problems in defense and attack in midfield whatsoever? The problem was in defense and attack.
Well, I think he's chatting absolute lot of tosh, but let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. Let me get into this comment. Let me get into this here. So, Ten Hag on injuries. He says here there's always reasons, but you can't avoid it in football. Players go to their limits. You can see it across all the teams. Injuries are coming, but it's our job to do the research and find reasons, and maybe we can learn from it in the future. So that's him talking about it like that. So apparently Luke Shaw is unavailable till September, so until November. But I'm like, take the year, mate. Take the rest of the year off. And your form, Luke. Take the season off, lad. Chill out. Take the season off. Eric Ten Hag.
I was hoping he played, I'll be honest.
Well, yeah, exactly the way he's been a shitbag lately. Wow. But listen, I just want to quickly answer some of these little questions here. We got everybody with a super chat as well. Somebody says here, big up George. George says here, what's going to happen tomorrow? Ilanga scores and plays well. And 4 hours after the game, breaking news: Man UFC bid 50 million for a top young talent, Ilanga, Anthony Ilanga. Question, it says here for the panel: would you take Lukaku on a 1-year loan? No, from me.
How no?
No.
Sorry, no.
Mumbai,
Nope.
Eski.
Do you know what? Yeah. I'll say yeah.
Eski's desperate, mate. Desperate.
I'm desperate.
FC.
I'm desperate. Yeah, I'm desperate. Yeah.
Desperate FC.
Yeah, fuck it.
Why would you take him when the man can't even trap a ball?
He's desperate. He
if
just
you're
told you,
like
man.
I'm desperate, bro. That's why. Nurdin, I'd have you up there. I'd have you up there, Nurdin, with your
Beggars
dodgy
can't
knees.
be
Come on.
choosers, man. Beggars can't be choosers.
Come on. Bombaye, put a shift in. We'll dash you up top, man. I'll take anyone. I don't give a shit.
Listen, put me up there. Put Dino behind me. Eski, where do you play?
Me, our centre back, man. I'm covering Varane, mate.
Get him in, man. At this rate, we're in.
Guys, we've just played 6 months with a static guy in Bart Weghorst who runs in
days.
slow motion like he's in.
No, he looks like he run like he run on a treadmill, like he's constantly running and jogging on a treadmill.
He's running backwards, right? And
he scored against us.
We're sniffing at Lukaku. Look, even Lukaku with his Timberland boots on one leg is better than Bart Weghorst.
Would you take him, mate?
It's still a no, but I'm just saying.
It's him or Martial. Come on. Lukaku or Martial, man. Look it up.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Rashford played his contract last season. He prepared to bang average displays this season. 15 goals max. George says here, Mumbai, that's a mad. I don't know what you're cooking. Like you're cooking something, or you're in the back. When was the last time you won a game comfortably where you could have your feet up and almost have not almost have a heart attack? Listen, this is Man United. This it comes with the territory, my friend. How many good seasons has Rashford had? Well, it is what it is, people. You know what? You tell me how many good seasons any of the players have had. Stop naming just one or two. Short injured. Get ready for Rashid back to go. Both just signed up on the dotted line. Yeah. Elise Lila says Lukaku, no, better will take David Ballion. Who remembers David Ballion? I think David Ballion was better than Lukaku all day, mate. At least he could hold the ball. We're negotiating for Amrabat now, according to Dimarzio. Hopefully, we'll make these moves happen. Listen, we've been negotiating for Amrabat, and Amrabat is going to become like what's his name? That guy the guy used to play for Benfica. What was that guy? Gaitan, yeah, he'd be like Gaitan. Nicholas Gaitan.
He's Gaitan and Wesley Sneijder's love.
Sneijder, yeah.
That's who he is.
Yeah, Sneijder. Listen, Mundo, I'll go to you. Ashibumba, I go to you. Give me the score tomorrow, quickly. Give me the score.
2-1 United.
Mundo?
I think it'll be narrow. We'll win by 1. So, 2-1.
Okay. Eski?
1-0 United. Not confident.
Yeti, what's do you think the score's going to be tomorrow? Forest for Forest. Come on, we've got to back your team. 2-0 Forest? 2-1 Forest?
2-1 Forest, mate. 2-1
Johnson and Unrawi.
Yeah, a 1 year. No, a 1 year in Alanga, because I think he's going to show you a thing or two as well.
A 1 year and Alanga. The double, the hitting us. Wow. It's crazy. It is what it is. It is what it is. Right. I think if United are going to win, it's going to be 1-0 Manchester United. That's it. Yeah. It's going to be 1-0 Manchester United. Since becoming a starter, Rashford has had the 3 out of 4+ goals this season. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Rashford's been a goal-getter, but it's the rest of the performance. But he without him last season, Windy, I don't know where we would be. I swear to God, I don't know where we would be. Yeah. Breaking news: United signed a deal with TikTok for Shirts and Giggles and shorts. Wow, are you serious? Are you telling the truth? United signed a deal with TikTok for shits and giggles shorts.
No,
yes, 100%. I definitely 3-0, 4-1, 3-1 Forest, 6-0 United win. Wow, 1-1 George, 2-1 United. United won, Forest. The whole attacking line is shite. Yeah, that's why I would change it tomorrow, innit? Like,
So listen, what happens if we lose tomorrow, guys? What's the deal? And we play badly. What's the vibe?
Panic.
The vibe is the pressure. The pressure builds in it, and the Glazers will pull the trigger if it makes out mathematically. Manchester United can't make it into the Champions League. Well, actually, right, 5 teams finished, so they might not jump. They might not jump ship. They might not. But the pressure builds. If we lose the game, but we perform well, and who's your goalkeeper for tomorrow? Is it the American lad?
Yeah, it'd be Turner.
Tell us your team for tomorrow. Go ahead.
Well, I say we'll probably go with the same Bolly. If Niakati's available, then hopefully it'll be Niakati, and hopefully be Philippe as well, because he's absolutely amazing. Aurier is still here so far, but he's obviously going to be going to Saudi at some point. And then probably Ola Aina. In the midfield will probably be Yates, who will just rip Bruno's legs off. He'll be moaning like a bitch by the end of that game, I can imagine. You got Mangali, you got Danilo, who will break into the central lines. He does really well as well. And then Morgan Gibbs White, Brennan Johnson, Andy Wanyi. That's who I think will line up anyway against you.
Okay. So Gibbs White behind the striker. Who do you have on the right then? You have 3 up top, or do you have 2 up top?
On the right is normally Brennan Johnson, and then Morgan White just sort of sifts around between the centre and the left. He's such an hard worker. The guy just gets everywhere. He's really hard worker.
Gibbs White.
Yeah, and I think Elanga will be on the bench, ready to come on. I don't think he'll play. I'd love to see him start Elanga and Brennan Johnson. Elanga on the left, Brennan Johnson on the right. But then, you're going to have to take someone out of midfield. The way your midfield produced against Spurs, we could have 2 instead of 3. But, we just got to wait and see how it pans out, haven't we?
Yeah, big up people. Listen, there's over 200 of you. Smash it. Smash that like your life depends on it. Smash the like. Let's get into some of these quotes. I'm going to be reading out. This is the embargoed section of Eric Ten Hag's the embargo section of Eric Ten Hag's press conference. So just bear with me, people. Where is it? Yeah, Eric Ten Hag. We're the same boat. I'm responsible for it. Me as well. We have a very good team, and we will win games if everyone's doing their job. So people asking about the pressure that's been on it, and he's Eric Ten Hag saying we're in the same boat. I'm responsible for it. He's responsible for the bad start to the season. He says, me as well. We have a very good team. We will win games if everybody's doing their job. Ten Hag on the forward. Defenders did wrong against Spurs. They didn't run, or they run in the wrong moments and too late, especially the front didn't recover. I told them, I gave them the feedback, and this is not acceptable, and we have to do it as a team and do it togetherness. Yeah, we've said that. We've analysed those games. Manchester United, the press is just like, honestly, as we said it, I'm not going to lie to you. We said it in the analysis and then so many days afterwards that the timings is off, the physicality is off. We're just like pressing like headless chickens. And then we got Rashford up there who's sulking like a baby, who basically does not want to play up front and basically is half-heartedly pressing. Ten Hag on Casemiro, you see the numbers. He's fully fit. Our fitness, I don't have any doubts that he can do it. After 35 minutes against Spurs, we didn't do it. But for the first game, we were the top 4 Premier League fit for it. Yeah. So Eric Ten Hag talking about that. I'm just going to try to pull up some more. So just bear with me, guys. Bear with me, guys. Eric Ten Hag, whether it's annoying that Gary O'Neill was offered an apology, but he didn't in the incident against Spurs. He says, make your own opinions. That's what he said to them. Ten Hag, he was angry at the players at the Spurs loss. I told them, I gave them the feedback. This is not acceptable. We have to work as a team. We have to do it togetherness, and everyone individually has to take responsibility. We need accountable players. Ten Hag on Anthony. In pre-season, he scored 2 goals and also, I think, 1 assist. So I think he's in a good direction, and now he has to He has to speed it up because for us, good it's not good enough. So don't get distracted. Focus on football and on performing. Well, don't get distracted. He's saying it's because he could be facing charges as well, Anthony, from his ex-missus. Apparently, that she's got WhatsApp evidence on all of that, the abuse and all of that business. So we'll see what happens. Eric Ten Hag got asked another question on Anthony. He says he's competed good preseason. He's also scoring goals. He has more often in a situation where he has to threat for the opponents, but not the only threat. He's the key in key moments there. We should have where he should have been. Now we have to finish. Okay, well, we'll see. Because to me, I won't getting him any training. To me, the biggest thing is I'm going to teach you decision making. We're going to do the biggest drills all week for me, Anthony. I hope Eric Ten Hag did that with him. All week, did the drills about decision making. There are specific training drills that are top flight football you can do to make players realize what to pick the right decisions, when to pass it, when to go alone and shoot. So Eric Ten Hag here says he says the same thing about we're in the same boat. Eric Ten Hag, those games are over the full course. We didn't match the standards. We beat Wolves. First 35 minutes was good at Spurs, but we demand at United is you to do it for 90 minutes and every game, no matter what. So yeah, it looks like he's coming out on the front foot. For the first 35 minutes, we were good in the game. We dominated it totally. We should have scored minimum once, I think twice. They were nowhere, nothing, and then things happened in the game, and they got distracted and not doing our jobs. And I'm not used to he says, I'm not used to it from this team because they always do it. It's what the fans can expect and what we demand. So I think what he's talking about, the distraction is the yellow card to Anthony and then Bruno, and then everybody became emotional. Next minute, the game ran away from us. Ten Hag, players did not run, they run in the wrong moments. Yeah, he says that. So, guys, what do you think about all of those Eric Ten Hag moments? What do you think the situation says? Well, Ten Hag on signing a left back, it can be. So this is what he said on signing a left back. It can be. I think we always have to anticipate situation. If there are opportunities, then yes, but it has to be for the right player. Otherwise, we have to deal with the current squad. Eric Ten Hag, Man UFC short in attack. Now we have 7 front players and young talents coming up as we have preseason. In the preseason, we're getting close. Rasmus will be available from next week onwards. Anthony Martial as a cover. We have Rashi as well there. Okay, he says we're not sure. So he's coming out. He's coming out fighting, guys. Manager's definitely coming out fighting. He's coming out fighting, guys.
It just sounds like a lot of excuses to me, to be honest. But that's just the way I see it.
Yeah, but listen, we have to say that's fighting talk from the manager. He's took a belters. Let's be honest. All of the media's jumped on him. The United fans are questioning him, and yes, we have to question him. Every manager gets questioned for the in-game management, the team that they pick, the performance that we see on the football pitch, and the loss. You're going to have to face that. The loss that Manchester.
Oops.
Hey.
Oh dear. We lost the host.
Big up Nerden.
Somebody put a missing poster up.
Arnold's got him.
Arnold's got him. Where'd you go?
Yeah.
Arnold.
The Glazers have got him then.
The Glazers. Richard Arnold has got me. The banker's got me. Listen, the point I was making was that fans have every right to question the team and the manager, but the media, the British media, never wanted Eric Ten Hag. I think they all used an excuse, and obviously Manchester United is on there at the top of the Stretford end. Adorned, loved, adorned, but never ignored. The reason why that's there is because we have such a large fan base, global, worldwide fan base, that when we write negative stories or positive stories, whatever story starting with Man UFC gets a lots of traction on social media. That's why you've got now Talkshite targeting Manchester United, because they want people to ring up and people to listen, people to click on their little shitty little videos and articles. So he's coming out fighting in that sense. The Forest fan, Yeti, is saying, no, these are full of excuses and they must do better. But I think that's what he's saying as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Bumbaye, did you like that? Did you like some of the fighting talk words? Does that encourage you? Get any encouragement from that?
I mean, I said at the top of the show, one thing I like about Erik ten Hag is, irrespective of how injuries, he doesn't go into excuses. He said, yeah, we've got no left backs. We have to deal with it. The players that we've got a good side. We have to deal with it. And I think that's good. It puts pressure on the players that, you know what, if you're here, then you've got to pull your weight. So I've got no issue with what he's saying. I'm just a little bit thinking, why is Erik ten Hag saying that the midfield was fine? It suffered as a result of the defense and the attack. Maybe we're not pressing at all from the front. And in the transition, we're losing it and we're getting caught. The defense, he's blaming them for, it seems like he's blaming them. I mean, against Tottenham, one thing that is telling, man, I know Mason Mount's not everyone's cup of tea. I personally think it's a really good signing, and I think he's going to be big for us. But the guy touched the ball 14 times in 90 minutes, man. There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that picture.
Yeah, because we don't keep the ball, to be fair. We're playing the same football.
You're bypassing the midfield.
Mumbai, we're playing the same football, and I'll let you come in, Eski. We're playing the same football we played since after the February, after that bloody final. We're playing the same football we played in all of that till the last of the season. But let me just get this before I come to you, Eski. Next says, so we're saying what's happening with Erik ten Hag, how much things they had to deal with. Ronaldo saga, Maguire, Martial injuries, the board, the club sale, Sancho loss of confidence, Mason Greenwood situation, Anthony allegation, on top of having a very weak squad in general.
And no striker. No striker.
Yeah. Joe, for me, this is the thing. Last season, we all sung his praises. We finished third, got to a cup final, 2 cup finals, won one, obviously, with no striker. If we was backed in January, who knows what he would have done? And everyone was like, he overachieved. Now we're in the same position as we were last season. We're 2 games in, and it's a bit of a panic mode in the media. And I agree with you, Bumbaye. In the media, it doesn't really make excuses. He said, no, we're here. Yeah, we're playing every game. That's fine. People get injuries. Yeah, we're playing all these games. It's great. But the one thing he's really let me down on this season is his footballing decisions. Because you look at it last season, and I agree with Nuruddin as well, until February, we were a half-decent football team. And then we peaked at February, won that, and then we all fell off, and then we dragged our way to third somehow. Newcastle really should have got third. But it is what it is. But for me, it's you go all pre-season playing Sancho false 9. Then you start the season and you say, all right, I'm going to play Casemiro on his own and play Mount and Bruno. And then and it was horrible to watch against Wolves, absolutely horrible. And they got robbed the penalty. We all know that, right? But my point is, how did he not see that and then change it against Tottenham, who are a better football inside, who have James Maddison in your midfield? And then, even then, after 45, 60 minutes, he didn't change it. I was in Birmingham over this weekend, and I took time out of my weekend, to watch the game. I was just like, nah, I want to see us turn it around. I was going livid. Everyone's looking at me like I'm a lunatic, just screaming on my phone, because I'm like, how can I see that this isn't working? Just tell someone to drop back. I don't know if Bruno, who's captain on the pitch, he should be like, right, I'll just stand next to him here. But it's there like he's gone one system pre-season, and he's trying to play another system without the components. He's like, I'm going to play the system for Højlund. But he doesn't have him, and he shifted Rashford up top. It is so many baffling footballing decisions. It's like Klopp after his first season with Salah. He scores 30 goals and then he says, right, I'll play you as a forward. He wouldn't do that. I don't understand why he's put Rashford up top. So maybe he's saying, and even with his comments, the forwards wasn't pressing. Well, you've selected Anthony, Rashford and Garnacho as your front 3. That's not a cohesive pressing unit. Garnacho's the kid, Anthony's a 50-50 player, and Rashford's not the centre forward. How on earth did he think that was going to be a cohesive pressing line? At least with Weghorst up there, he's going to lead it, and Rashford on the side will join in. Now, these 2 men were competent, but I have to blame Erik ten Hag for these 2 games, and I'm going to be really looking at this game tomorrow to be seeing what footballing decisions he makes, because if he plays the same system and we get the same result, I'm going to ask big questions, I really am.
This commenter, go ahead, Mumbai, but let me just get this comment. It's game week 3, and people are calling for Alvaro Palestri to start and waiting on
Yeah.
youngster Manu to save the season.
It's true. It's true. It's absolutely true.
You know what it is? We're just sick of saying the whole same old shit. By the way,
Yeah.
this form that we've been on, it's been since February. Go ahead, Mumbai.
Yep.
No, just to I just wanted to say, I think
Go on.
one of the things that Eric Ten Hag has been accused of is stubbornness, and this is basically what Heskey said is a prelude, perhaps, to that. No, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not changing it. I'm going to keep it going. You know, it seemed to work all right in that preseason, and it is a popular narrative. Like, why have you switched it? And we didn't really change anything at Tottenham. We just kept banging balls long, and it was pretty shite. You know, when Eric Ten Hag came in, you guys sold me Eric Ten Hag. I've never heard of him. That this is a new, innovative manager that is going to come with a really nice carpet football. And I watched him, and what I liked about him, actually, it wasn't like carpet football. I thought this is maybe a hybrid manager. He adapts to situations. He adapts to the
Oh, he
opposition.
certainly did that last season.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
We started
After 2
playing
games.
what Joe said. Listen, we started playing what your favorite manager did last season.
Do you know what I mean? Listen. If you're gonna, I'll leave now. You better take that back right now.
Sick.
I dare not say a bad word against Jose, honestly.
I know.
The Godfather, man. The Godfather.
Godfather.
Man, look, it's tomorrow is a big game. If we don't get 3 points tomorrow, I'm watching the comments here very, very closely. You know, the pressure
We're
is
getting
mounting.
accused of
I'm not saying anything like that yet. But in 5 games down the line, let's say by the time we hit Brentford, we're on, I don't know, 5 points.
Oh, God forbid.
Do you know what I mean? It's realistically could happen depending on how this develops. You've got tomorrow's game. It's got to be 3 points. That's why I'm not even. I want a performance, of course I do, but just get the 3 points, boys.
Could it be the players?
Oh, it's the players. Come on
here
now.
we go.
Is it back to the Roy Keane comment? Is it the Roy Keane comment? These players will let you down because look, this gaffer's no idiot, man. But I'm questioning him a little bit footballing wise. But like we've seen against Tottenham, they weren't running and they weren't doing certain things. It shades of fucking Ollie at the end where these guys just packed it in. Maybe is he working him too hard in training and they're thinking, yeah, fuck this. Like I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I hope it's not. But Roy Keane, that comment always sticks with me. These players will let you down. And the bulk of this squad is still the same, don't get me wrong. Eriksen and Casemiro are here for a laugh. Let's be honest, they're the old guys here. But all the rest of these players, they are the same majority of them. Varane's in and out. So a lot of players that are here, it is still the bulk of, the Jose squad even, going way back when. So I'm not sure. I hope it's not the players. I hope it's not the gaffer either. I just hope we've
got to be an element of that, really.
Mundo, this is where you come in.
Yeah. I mean, I've in our group chat, I have been saying that we lack intelligent footballers at our club, and there's been a bit of debate around that. But I honestly believe that. I just think that a manager can only prepare a team. That's all that Ten Hag can do is prepare that team. And once they cross that white line, the players sometimes have to figure things out in real time as things are happening. And I just look across the 11 players we put out week in, week out, the same usual suspects who I won't name, where something happens, a bad moment in the game, they lose their heads. They start getting emotional and the game just goes to pot. And sometimes you've got to, if you've got a problem, we've got certain players where they're trying to do something within the game and it's not working. So rather than just use their brains and think, actually, I need to adapt, maybe that fullback or that midfielder's got the better of me, so maybe I need to do something different and switch it up. They don't do it. They just keep doing the same thing over and over and keep failing. And for me, that's just a lack of football intelligence. I'm watching teams like Brighton and Newcastle and Brentford and Aston Villa play better football than my team. And when you look at the players that they possess, they shouldn't be better than Man United. But when I watch their players, I see them keeping things simple, and I'm seeing players who are limited being consistent and knowing what their weaknesses are, and knowing actually this is my limitation. Yeah. And same with Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest probably got 3 or 4 players where you would look at them and say they're going to give you a 6 or 7. They're going to give you a 7 out of 10 every week. They're not the best player in the world, but you know what you're going to get. With Man United, majority of our players, you can either get a 7 or 8 out of 10, or a 1 or 2 out of 10. You just don't know what team's going to turn up week in, week out. And we've had this for years and years and years. We've had so many different managers. We've had a revolving door of players, and it's the same old shit week in, week out. And that's why now Ten Hag is feeling the heat a little bit, because he's been in charge for a season. He's had a pre-season. He's had 2 summer windows. And you're seeing guys like Postecoglou at Tottenham and Unai Emery and Howe at Newcastle had their team playing football pretty much from the go. You can look at those teams. Even Poch, Chelsea won 3-0 today. Even though they lost away at West Ham and they drew with Tottenham.
I thought they were the better team against West Ham.
You watch Chelsea and you're like, I can see what they're trying to do. I can see the system they're trying to play, and the players look like they know what they're doing. But with Manchester United, I can't say that about Manchester United. I don't think any fan, neutral or Man United supporter, can say what type of football team Manchester United are. And we bought one of the best footballing goalkeepers in the world, and I'm seeing him launching the ball up the pitch against Wolves and against Tottenham. And I'm like, well, why we bought a goal? We blamed David De Gea last season for our inability to play football. Now we've got a footballing goalkeeper, and I'm seeing football that's arguably worse. That Wolves performance for me is one of the worst performances I've seen from Man United, probably since the Liverpool game. It was even the first half of the Liverpool game was better than that entire
second half when we collapsed.
It was the second half. It was 45 minutes of madness. So I'd even put that Wolves game below the Liverpool game, even though we lost the Liverpool game 7-0. So a better team than Wolves would have probably scored 5 or 6.
Can I just say something as like an outside fan?
Of course, we're gonna
looking at Man United. To me, it's like when you take a car into the garage and then you ask the mechanic to fix it, but you don't give the mechanic any tools and you take away his toolbox. So I think Ten Hag's getting a lot of like stick, but let's face it, he hasn't got what he needs to make this work. And he's got a lot of players that are still there that Dan tools a hell of a long time ago under different managers. So they're capable of it. And you know they will do it. And if it comes down to saving their horse or saving the manager's horse, they will always save their own. That's just my 5 pence.
I'll stay with you, Yeti, and I'll ask you, like, the pressure on Manchester United. So when you look at Brighton, Villa, you look at the teams, the pressure on Manchester United players, the pressure of that shirt, the pressure of being the manager on Manchester United is a different kettle of fish, because
absolutely.
If you look at your history compared to the 18, like in the 80s, you became a sleeping giant for 20 odd years. We are now in our 10th. We're going to be over 10 years in terms of sleeping giant, in terms of putting a proper challenge on a league title, or going close to semi-final or quarter-final, even quarter-final at a Champions League. We are that far away from those big trophies. Our nearest rivals did the fucking treble last summer. So, I look at our owners, and I genuinely want to stick with you and say this. Throughout the different ownership models at Forest, in the 23 years where you've been absent from the Premier League, have you had any successful protests that actually worked against any of those owners?
Not really. We never really did any protests or anything. I mean, I called out for Wes straight away because I'm kind of one of those people, you know, like when you sign a new player and they start talking all this crap. Oh, I always love Forest and blah 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 blah. I don't want to hear it. I want to see what you do in a shirt. I don't give a toss what your opinion is about the club or anything. I just want to see you work hard on the field. And it's same with like for Wes because he came in and said the same things. You know, oh, I've loved Forest all my life and I want to win the European Cup. Absolute tosh, mate. Absolute tosh. And I could see through it straight away. And I got kicked out of so many Forest groups for being negative. I wasn't negative. I was right all along, and now they realise it. But you know, we didn't. I don't think we've ever really like done any protests because it's never gone that far as what the Glazers have. But one thing I will say to you
Because
guys,
because
you know,
because the owners, your owners, Yeti, have always just walked. They've
well,
always
yeah,
walked.
well, yeah, fair enough.
Okay,
Yeah, they do
yeah,
leave beforehand. But
yeah.
the thing is, one thing I will say to you guys is, just before the Glazers took over, I remember a match being on TV, and as they was about to take over, a load of fans went into the centre circle and was saying Glazers out, because they could see exactly what was coming.
Yeah, of course. Listen, when I tell people there's the videos on YouTube, go and check it out. In 2005, they came. They came. All of the family came, and they did an interview with MUTV at the stadium. And to get them out, you had to have the biggest police escort back to the airport. It was a full-on riot outside, and I was there. People, I was there. It was one of those. It was an absolute madness. And at the height when we were winning back-to-back Premier League titles, at the height when Manchester United were going to Champions League finals, we were at. That's what the height of the green and gold scarves were all around Old Trafford. So nobody can tell me you only sing Glazers out when you're losing or when you're in trouble. No, we do that. But I want to bring it back to this, people. Tomorrow, I'm going to be one of those people, Touchwood, sitting in. I'll be there sitting in. Sit down next to me. For 60 minutes, it's going to be sit down next to me. That's what we're going to be singing Glazers out tomorrow. And I hope every United fan looks deep inside themselves and thinks, if you love this football club, do you want to just sit there and just do this protest? Because I promise you, it's not on telly, but those pictures will go around the globe.
Yeah,
it will go around the globe. And I've already seen, somebody sent me a screenshot, because I don't follow the club, because I boycott it in that sense. I only go to games. Is that they've got this thing saying, oh, why don't you become part of the fans to come and liaise with the club, to have a communication with the club? You can't make this shit up. I mean, and if you want to talk about it genuinely, I spoke to a couple of people who work at Manchester United, and I'm telling you now, the club is absolutely on its knees. Everybody's shocked by what's happened with the Greenwood situation, how the club tried to bring him back without consulting all of the people in the organisation, without consulting senior figures at Manchester United, what their little hatched up plan was, and the backlash of that, the backlash of the Glazers, that so many people who are working there, who are United fans, who love and work for the club, want the Glazers to go. So many fans that think that Eric Ten Hag, so many people who work at the club thinking that Eric Ten Hag is not back fully, and that we're signing players like bloody Johnny Evans, and now we link with bloody, oh my God, that left back. Oh my God. Like, Leicester City let him go. He's on a free. What does that tell you? You know, it's an absolute disgrace, yeah, to a professional footballer, by the way, to be let go, to be absolutely let go. Yeah. Big up Mumbai. Listen, have the last word. Are you supporting what's your last words to those fans like us who are going to be staying in there for 60 minutes after the game? What are you saying?
Yeah,
What's the
respect
message
to you guys. I mean, my biggest problem over the last 10 years, I'm going to be honest now, is I feel lost a lot of the time. I feel like I'm in that dark room and I can't find the door. And that dark room has got in it. When things are getting bad like they are now, which they could be in the next 5, 7, 10 games if this continues, what we're getting already is a segment of the fan base is saying it's the manager. Now, I don't absolve the manager, but it's not totally his fault. Then we've got that. We're going back to that thing that it's the players. Then we got the Glazers in the mix. I feel like I'm on a carousel. It just can't. It just won't seem to go right. I look at the team, and in my mind, I'm thinking at the start of the year, yeah, we're looking good. Hoyland, Mason Mount, Onana, new goalkeeper, help us out. It just nothing seems to work, and the amount of players that have good players that we've had at the club that just seem to flop.
We are a graveyard for managers and for players.
I mean, we've had some really good managers here, whether you like them or not. I mean, they're top managers, and nobody can seem to just get this thing right, man. And we've thrown so much money at it, and so sometimes I'm looking and I'm thinking, what? I can't see the problem. I can't solve the problem. And take your pick: Glazers, manager, players, and this is all we've been doing for the last 10 years. And I just don't want to go back into that. But other than that, boys. It's only 2 games. It's 3 points out of 6. We've got Tottenham away out the way. They're a decent side. If we win tomorrow, get back on track, hopefully things will start to turn around again. As Eski makes a good point, we had a disgraceful start last year, bro. It's not as bad as that. And then, do you know what I mean? We started to turn it around. So, yeah, man. And Yeti, nice to meet you, man. And
yeah, and you, mate.
Good luck, mate. Be ours tomorrow.
Cheers, mate. Same to you.
Big up, Bombay. Love and light.
Good night, gentlemen. Take care.
Mundo,
night,
sitting protest.
Safe.
I would want to think maybe we leave. You know what I mean? We leave the ground or we walk out, but they want to do sitting. What do you think about the sitting protest, Mundo? Quickly. Right, we'll get back. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think let's just hope that it's effective, and
it's definitely going to get media. If let's say 20,000 people stay in, I think that's going to get news. Even 15,000 or 10,000. You know what I mean? But I hope it's like that because it's just a big stadium, innit? It's a massive stadium.
And what you want as well is you want because obviously if everyone's just spread out all around the ground and there's a few thousand here and there, it's not as effective if a whole section of a stand remains, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So because you just for the optics, you want it to look like there's a big, and mainstream media always downplay the numbers. If there was 20,000, they tell you there's 2,000. So yeah, and make sure that people get plenty of pictures as well, photographic evidence.
YouTube
and
videos
get it
as well.
All the socials.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. We'll have it recorded. Let's just hope some of them stay in it. Some of them stay in.
And if Nottingham Forest win tomorrow, if Nottingham Forest actually beat us tomorrow, I can imagine the atmosphere being quite toxic.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, big up. We don't condone any violence there about chopping anybody up. We don't want to chop anybody up. We just want them to leave our football club. Eski, are you about tomorrow? Are you going to the game? Are you working, bro?
No, I'm not going to the game. I'll watch it at home. But I watched the interview from the 1958 guy who was on Stretford Paddock before, and they asked him, innit, like, why did you do the sitting one this time? Yeah, Steve. Yeah. So he was saying...
friend of mine.
Yeah. Big up Steve and TRA in 1958 and all that. And he was saying, well, it's kind of easier to get all people together because you're all inside the stadium. Say when you're trying to do it all outside, it's all the hustle and bustle and people just want to sit down, But now you're all there, and you just tell them all, like you tell as many people as you can to try, sit down. And I think he said they're going to try and get loads of flags at different areas around the ground. So like Mundo's saying, it's not great if there's like 10 people there dotted around. It's there like people just try and congregate together after the game behind like a flag. And
we're going to have flags. Yeah, we're going to have banners and flags.
Yeah. So if you dot that around as many places as you can, and it's kind of like after the game, if you run it, which I hope many people are running, try to get as much people as you can, spread awareness, you stand behind the flag, and then it's just there like it's good for optics, and it's there like, well, there's people behind loads of flags at different places, and hopefully there's big sections of people. I'm hoping at least 10,000 people stay for about an hour, I think that's a very good return. At least 10,000 people, but here's hoping the number could be whatever. But it's a good time. It's 3 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday, and I think it should be okay.
Yeah, big up. Listen, the cat's just come in. Go ahead, T. How do you see it in terms of the protest? Do you think the protest will work to get rid of the Glazers?
I think you do whatever it takes, man. Because at the end of the day, I remember from being a youngster watching Manchester United, and you guys are giants in this country. You know what I mean? You've won the most, and now all of a sudden you've become like a laughing stock, and that's all down to the Glazers. So basically, do whatever it takes to get whatever you need. My only worry is if you win that game, will there be less people there after the 60 minutes to do the protest? Because it don't need to be. Whether you win that game tomorrow or not, you still need to make sure you get these leechers out of that club.
Well said, yeah. I think for me, after we score a goal, we do sing, stand up if you get the Glazers. So I think, if you do hopefully win tomorrow, score some goals, I think I just hopefully reiterate that point. Or maybe, sit down if you hate the Glazers, maybe if you change a song like that after the goal, something like that, so maybe you do make a good point. Yeah, if you win, it'll be less people. But I think if all of us just reiterate the point, and it is good to hear from an outsider coming in that, you do identify the problem, that is the leechers at the top. But I think, if we still reiterate the point, and hopefully we see. But yeah, no, very, very unbiased opinion.
If I was actually in the ground, I'd stay back with you.
We appreciate that, mate, honestly.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Terrible. I wouldn't wish it on Scousers. That's how bad they are. I wouldn't wish them on the Scousers. They can fuck off.
Honestly, I would never wish them on any football fans.
Never. No, it's unfair. It's just unfair. It is.
Yeah. Because they don't give an absolute damn. They put Bristol University bankers in charge of football. Can you imagine that? Imagine Manchester United, who... You can't write it like as a script. Manchester United are going to be owned by these Yanks who live across the pond, who don't give a damn, who just want to milk the club for money. And then they give the keys to the car, to the house, 3 bankers who went to Bristol University. I've been in Bristol a lot. I've gone past the university and gone, fuck it. What happened to us? What's going on here? What's going on here? We got rid of 2 apparently, and we still got one. This Richard Arnold, absolute clown. But listen, come here then. Come here, stop meowing at me, and come here. He's shouting at me for no reason. He's like, "Come on, give me some attention." I'm like, "Listen, fella, you just calm down. You've eaten. You've had your treats."
You take him to the protest.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's having it. He's actually not been feeling well, so. I've been monitoring. He's just been out. It's raining in Manchester. That's what he does best. Yeah. We'll be there tomorrow in the rain. You go to the games?
Right.
Yeah. You'll be watching that tomorrow.
I'll be watching it, mate. I won't be going to the game. I'll be doing a watch along. But...
Are you in Nottingham? Are you actually in Nottingham?
Yeah. I live in Baseford. Yeah.
Baseford. There we go. He's there, man. And he was there. How old are you when they lifted the European Cup twice?
I was 7.
Wow.
7 years old.
The memories, beautiful memories.
We want new memories. I don't want to keep having to go on about that all the time.
Hey, we're like that now. We're becoming a Wikipedia Man UFC. Man United is a Wikipedia, mate. That's what we are. That's how I do want to make myself feel better. I go back to those Champions League nights and I was winning trophies, man. It is what it is. But listen, it's gonna be big people. We'll see you there tomorrow. Alien Tenor, hopefully you'll be there tomorrow. I'm helping. You'll be staying in. Big up, Elias. We'll be back tomorrow with a match reaction. Whatever the time is, there'll be sometime in Saturday night. It might be late or it might be around 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or whatever it is. But big up, love and light, people. Look after yourselves. And please smash a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed.
Yeah,
I want to just thank Kumbaye. I want to thank Yeti. And I want to thank Eski and Mundo. It's the first time we've had actually a supporter from the opposing club to come on. So big up to Steve Yeti for coming on, and Yeti, let them know where they can find you.
Right, okay. So basically, my YouTube channel is called Long-Haired Yeti's Cave. And basically, it's all forest and gaming as well, FIFA, all that kind of stuff. So I don't just do forest; I do all different things, Dungeons and Dragons. Just create because I'm a creator, and that's what creators do, I suppose. Yeah, that's it. Long-Haired Yeti's Cave. So drop me a subscribe, please, and thanks a lot, Nuruddin, because this is massive for me and everybody else that's on the panel. Absolute legends, and all the best for tomorrow. But I want
all the best for you tomorrow as well. You know what I mean? It's the perfect time to play Manchester United. I'm not going to mince my words, mate.
Yeah.
You've got an opportunity tomorrow. Wolves did it. Spurs did it. Can you do it? That's the question. Can you turn up and get the result that you need. And you've been on good form beginning of the season, so you've
Just
done,
get them Glazers out, mate. That's all I
exactly. Who
want.
was your first 2 games? Your second game you won. Who did you beat? You beat
First
Sheffield
one was
United.
Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal, and you were unlucky with it, I think. What's the score?
Well, there was an handball at the end. They didn't even check it. Declan Rice handballed it. Didn't even check it. So, you know, obviously, like
Was it
FA
Forest
Premier
away?
League.
It was the Forest away, was it?
Yeah,
Sorry,
it was at
Arsenal
the
away.
Emirates.
Yeah, at the Emirates, yeah. It is what it is,
I'm
mate.
glad
You
we
know?
got that one out of the way, to be fair.
Exactly. You don't want that towards the end of the season, do you?
Mm.
Yeah, big up to United Devil as well. We're not seeing you in a light, but big up to Light Gomez, Mateus, the whole gang, man. Everybody, love and light people. Stephanie
Yeah,
Griffin,
man.
big up to you as well.
100%.
This has been, Raw, Real Red Therapy Army. Big up Nuruddin, Mundo Eski, Longhead Yeti, plus the chat. Yeah, big up everybody on the chat, man. Love and light.
Thanks, mate.
Nobody
Thanks.
interacts with the chat more than any of us. Eski, you will find him on here. He doesn't do social media. Mighty Mundo, he's got the tweets ready. So when the Glazers go, he'll be interacting with you on Twitter. But big up to Mighty Mundo and big up to Bombay as well. We'll be back for the match reaction. Like I said, win, lose or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. And we'll sign off with sit down, sit down, sit down next to me. That's what we're doing. 60 minutes of sit down, mate. That's what we're singing tomorrow. So love and light, people. We'll be there. Take care. Please smash a like on your
Love
way
and
out.
light. Get them
Channel.
Glazers out.
Exactly. And smash the like on your way out. Like, share. We're about 150 away from 8,000. So let's go, people.
Yeah,
Big
get
up.
that
Do
done,
it for
man.
the community, man. This is for the community. Take care, people. Good night.
Go.
And go and check out Longhead Yeti's Cave.
Thank
Longhead
you.
Yeti Cave on YouTube. Peace, love, and light. Take care, people. Good night.
Take care. Cheers, everybody.